Okay, so let's say you're thinking about starting your own wellness coaching practice.
Exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah.
But then you hit this big question, right? How do you make your website stand out?
So many coaches out there.
Exactly. How do you stand out online? How do you turn those visitors into like actual paying clients?
Oh,
That's what we're diving into today.
I love it.
Yeah, and we're using this guide from an Australian web design company,
Okay.
Site Design Now.
Interesting.
And I'm actually kind of curious about the Australian angle too.
Yeah.
Could there be like legal things down there that maybe we don't think about as much, elsewhere?
That's a great question. Yeah, different countries definitely have different regulations, and we'll keep an eye out for anything specific to Australia that might be relevant wherever you're listening from.
Exactly.
But you're right, it's not just about a pretty website.
It's got to work.
It's about getting those clients.
Yes. Okay, so the guide starts off talking about service listings.
Okay.
Pretty basic, right?
Yeah, sure.
And they give these examples like stress management, nutrition coaching, fitness plans,
Usual suspects.
Yeah, the usual. Exactly. But to be honest, those sound so generic.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I was looking for a coach online, I'd want to know more than just those 3 words.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Nobody's going to hire a coach just based on a title.
Right.
The guide talks about establishing authority without overwhelming people, right? It's like, a first impression,
That's a good point.
like a movie trailer.
Ooh. Okay.
Gives you a taste, gets you interested, but doesn't spoil the ending.
I like that analogy.
They want to make them curious.
Okay, so it's not about like dumping your whole coaching philosophy on that first page.
Right. Yeah.
It's more like, hinting at your expertise.
Exactly. And this is where that Australian thing might come in.
Oh, yeah.
They mentioned regulation, so I wonder if there are rules about, what you can claim,
Ooh, interesting.
like health outcomes.
Results, yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely impact how you word things.
Good point.
We should keep our eyes peeled for that as we go.
Yes, good catch. Okay, moving on to client success stories.
Okay.
This is something I'm always a little wary of online.
Yeah.
The guide recommends before and after photos, glowing quotes, even videos.
Wow.
It all feels kind of infomercial-y, don't you think?
I hear you.
Like, where's the line between inspiring and cheesy?
It's easy to be skeptical, but honestly, testimonials are powerful.
Really?
There's psychology behind it, social proof.
Okay.
We're wired to trust things other people have tried.
So, think about it. You're more likely to try a new restaurant if it has good reviews.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, but how can I tell if a testimonial is real? Like, what questions should I be asking when I see those success stories on a wellness website?
Great question. A genuine testimonial is going to be specific.
Okay.
Not just like, this program changed my life.
Right. That's vague.
Which could mean anything.
Exactly.
It'll go into the challenges, the strategies.
Oh, so specifics.
Specifics, tangible results, concrete examples.
Okay, so I'm looking for meat, not just fluff.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, now on to something I have strong feelings about. As a consumer, online booking.
Ooh, yes.
The guide actually says, and this is a direct quote, the ease with which clients can book sessions can make or break your conversion rates.
Bold statement.
I mean, is it really that important? Or are they just trying to sell me on some fancy booking system?
I think there's truth to that.
Okay.
Let's be honest. Haven't we all abandoned an online shopping cart because the checkout process was too complicated?
Oh, yes. A million times, yes.
So frustrating.
But what does that have to do with wellness?
Well, think about it. If your website is difficult to navigate, if the booking process is clunky and stressful,
Ooh.
what message does that send about your coaching?
Especially if you're like a stress management coach.
Especially then.
Wow, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like if your website is giving me anxiety,
Exactly.
why would I trust you to help me reduce my anxiety?
Makes you think.
That's a really good point. Okay, moving on to the blog.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest, I kind of dread this section.
Oh, why is that?
The guide calls having a blog excellent, but most of the wellness blogs I've seen are, well, pretty boring.
Ah, I see.
It's all kale smoothies and gratitude journals.
Right.
How do you stand out in that sea of sameness? How do you create content people actually want to read?
Yeah.
And that leads to them, hiring you.
You're not wrong. There's a lot of noise out there.
Yeah.
That's why it's crucial to find your niche, develop your own voice and tone.
Yeah.
You don't have to appeal to everyone.
Just the right people.
Exactly.
So is the blog where I really let my personality shine through,
Yes.
where I connect with the specific kind of client I want to attract.
Exactly. And it's not just about one killer blog post.
Right.
It's about consistency.
So regular content.
The guide emphasized that, I agree.
Okay.
Building a relationship over time.
Providing value, keeping them coming back. Okay, last but not least, let's talk freebies.
All right.
The guide suggests offering things like planners, guides, templates, basically anything downloadable.
Lead magnets.
Yes. To get people on your email lists.
Smart.
Smart marketing, I get it. But part of me is like, isn't that giving away your expertise for free?
That's a common concern, but think of it as an investment.
Okay.
You're offering value up front, a taste of what you offer in exchange for their contact info. It's not a one-time transaction.
Oh, I see.
It's starting a relationship.
Building trust.
You got it.
It's like a little sample to get them hooked, right?
Precisely.
Now, this is making me think about the Australian angle again.
Uh-oh, what now?
Are there privacy laws down there that we need to be aware of when we're collecting email addresses?
Absolutely. Data privacy is a big deal these days. The guide doesn't specifically address it,
Right.
but it's a good reminder to be aware of those regulations wherever you are.
Right. Dotting our I's, crossing our T's. Always a good idea.
Yeah.
From the get-go, so far, this has been really eye-opening. We've covered so much more than just make your website pretty.
It's deeper than that.
It's about understanding your audience, building trust, and making it easy for them to become clients.
Exactly. And that's just the beginning. Ooh. We've got a lot more to unpack.
Okay. I'm ready. Let's dive deeper into some of these elements.
Let's do it.
It's kind of cool how all these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
You could have, like, the most beautiful website in the world, right? With stunning photos and a fancy design.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if it's confusing to use or people don't trust you,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to click away.
Yeah. It's like having a shop with a gorgeous window display,
Ooh.
but the door's locked.
Nobody can come in.
It's exactly. It's about that seamless experience from the homepage to booking that first session.
You mentioned the Australian context a few times.
Uh-huh.
And I'm curious, do we actually know what those regulations are?
Well, the guide doesn't get into specifics,
Right.
but it raises a good point. Legal considerations, what's acceptable marketing in one country
Yeah.
might be a no-no in another.
Ooh, that's tricky.
So do your homework.
So it's not just design and content, it's also understanding the rules.
The legal side of things.
Yeah, the rules of the game.
Exactly.
Legally speaking. This brings up something I don't think the guide really addresses.
What's that?
The feeling a website gives off.
Ooh, interesting.
Like, if I land on a wellness coach's website, what should I be feeling?
That's a fantastic point. The guide's great for the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
But the overall vibe is crucial.
Okay.
What emotions do you want your ideal client to experience?
I like that.
Calm and serene. Energy and motivation, it all matters.
So every element,
Colors, fonts, images,
they all work together.
to create that feeling.
So if I'm a yoga instructor specializing in stress relief, my website shouldn't feel like a flashing neon sign, right?
Exactly. It should feel like a sanctuary,
Okay.
a place of peace.
I'm getting very zen just thinking about it.
That's the goal.
Okay, let's get specific. The guide talks about writing detailed descriptions for each service.
Right.
But how much detail is too much? Where's the line?
It's the art of marketing, right? Enough info to establish credibility, pique interest, but not give away the farm.
Don't spill all the secret sauce.
Exactly. Think of it like, we talk about movie trailers.
Yeah, I like that.
Give them a glimpse.
Okay.
Leave them wanting more.
All right, back to testimonials.
You're tricky.
What are some red flags? How can I spot a phony testimonial?
Okay, watch out for vague statements.
Okay.
Like, this program changed my life. Great, but what's that mean?
Yeah, nothing specific.
A real testimonial tells a story.
Oh,
Concrete details, tangible results.
so I was able to sleep through the night.
Yes.
I had energy to play with my kids.
that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another red flag is if they all sound the same.
Right.
Real people have different voices.
If it reads like a brochure, be suspicious.
It's like reading online reviews
Yeah.
for a restaurant.
Yeah.
If they all use the same phrases,
You know something's up.
you start to wonder,
Exactly. Be a critical thinker.
even or maybe especially when it comes to wellness.
Don't take things at face value.
Okay, good advice. Let's talk online booking again. The guy's like, you need this.
Essential.
But I know coaches who prefer a more personal touch,
So,
like a phone call first.
to connect. What's your take? I think it's about finding what works for you and your clients.
Okay.
Some like convenience, Others want that connection.
There's no right or wrong.
Exactly.
But thinking about user experience,
We've talked about that.
an online system can streamline things, right?
Definitely. Remove the barrier.
And from the Australian angle,
Yeah.
maybe there are even accessibility regulations that favor online booking over phone calls.
That's possible. Something to keep in mind.
Always good to be aware. Okay, the blog again.
Back to the content.
We talked about finding your niche, your voice.
Right.
But how do you create something truly valuable, engaging?
It's the million-dollar question.
It is.
Go beyond the generic. Offer something unique.
Something only I can provide.
Yes. What's your perspective?
Yeah.
Your insights?
So instead of just saying, eat more vegetables,
Yeah, it's boring.
maybe I talk about my journey with plant-based eating,
Love it.
share my favorite recipes,
Makes it personal.
connect it back to my coaching.
That's how you stand out.
It's about going deeper,
Not just information.
sharing your story, your experience.
And from the Australian perspective,
Yeah.
maybe there are cultural nuances, regional trends.
Oh, interesting.
You can weave into your content.
Make it relevant.
That's it.
Okay, last but not least, brainstorm time.
All right, what do we got?
Freebie ideas. The guide mentions planners, guides, templates.
The usual suspects.
But what else could a wellness coach offer?
Ooh, the possibilities.
Endless.
Guided meditation, audio, recipe, ebook,
Okay, I like those.
workout tracker, stress checklist, even a mini course.
So many options.
Align it with your niche.
Mhm.
Give them something they can use now.
Immediate value.
Exactly. And again, that Australian lens.
Right.
Regional resources, seasonal tips.
You could tailor it.
Make it super relevant.
Wow, this has been a packed deep dive. We went way beyond the basics.
It's more than just make it pretty.
We explored the nuances of a website that converts.
From visitors to clients.
What stood out to you the most?
You know, it's fascinating how this seemingly simple topic, the website has so many layers.
Yeah.
It's design, marketing, understanding your audience, the legal stuff, putting your unique stamp on things.
It really shows how important it is to be a thoughtful consumer online,
Absolutely.
especially with something as personal as wellness.
Can't just take things at face value.
We have to ask questions, think critically.
Make informed decisions.
That's what makes these deep dives so valuable.
Totally agree. We're not just gaining knowledge.
We're sharpening our minds.
Expanding our perspectives.
And speaking of expanding perspectives, I think it's time to shift gears a bit.
Ooh, where are we going now?
You know, we've talked about like the features, the functions, like the nuts and bolts of a good website.
Yeah.
But what about the energy, you know?
Oh, I like that.
Like the vibe.
The vibe, yeah.
If someone landed on your website right now,
Mm-hmm.
what would they feel?
That's so important, especially with wellness.
It's like walking into someone's office or studio, right?
Totally.
You get that immediate sense.
You just feel it.
Yeah. And that first impression.
Oh, it can make or break things.
If a wellness website feels like chaotic or overwhelming,
Mm-hmm.
it's not exactly making me want to relax and trust the coach, you know,
Right, not very zen.
not zen at all.
Exactly. And that's where the art of web design comes in.
Okay.
Using colors, images, fonts, the layout, everything.
To create that
And
feeling.
the cohesive experience.
Not just what you say.
Right.
It's how it feels.
Exactly. Think about the emotions you want to evoke. Like, are you a meditation teacher?
Okay, yeah.
Your website should feel peaceful, calming.
Makes sense.
But if you're, say, a high-energy fitness coach,
Yeah.
maybe you want something bold, vibrant.
So different vibes for different niches.
It's like setting the stage for the transformation before they even book a session.
I love that, yeah. It's all about that feeling, you know?
It really is, and that's what makes this so interesting, right? We're not just talking websites.
It's deeper.
We're creating online spaces that can inspire, heal, empower.
You know, and speaking of Australia,
Yeah.
I wonder if there are any cultural influences there
Interesting.
that might affect how coaches design their websites.
Like an Australian aesthetic.
Yeah. Is there such a thing for wellness online?
That's a good question. I don't know about a specific aesthetic,
Okay.
but every culture has its own relationship with wellness, right?
Right.
And those nuances could definitely influence things.
So, like, what? Give me an example.
Well, maybe in Australia there's more emphasis on nature, outdoor living.
So you might see more websites with natural imagery, earthy tones.
Oh, I can see that.
Or maybe there's a certain informality, sense of humor in Australian culture.
So, like, less formal, more fun.
Exactly. Websites that are a bit more playful,
It's like we've been trying to solve this little mystery throughout the episode.
Right.
Figuring out the Australian context.
Yeah, and even though we don't have all the answers,
Yeah.
it's a good reminder, there's always more to learn.
Keep learning.
And different perspectives are valuable.
They enrich our understanding.
They do.
Well, I think this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive.
I agree.
We covered so much. The details, the branding, the user experience.
All the important stuff.
But it all comes down to this, really.
What's that?
What kind of online space do you want to create?
That's the question, isn't it?
What message are you sending?
What energy are you putting out there?
And how will that attract the right clients?
Lots to think about. So as you're building your practice, remember, your website, it's more than just a digital storefront.
It's more than that.
It's a reflection of you, your vision, your passion.
Helping others live better.
Make it a space that embodies those values.
And watch your practice thrive.
That's such a great note to end on. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.